women, one of the first things we need to deal with is nutrition. Women historically have been assigned that duty and have accepted that role because food, as I said, is what sustains life. And eating the proper food, we can decide how long our men and our women live and our children. That's just what we feed them. And so eating out every day, while it's convenient, because we giving our all of our energy to the white people on the job. So when we come home, we tired. So it's easier to pick up McDonald's or some other kind of junk and bring it home and feed it to our children until our children get so accustomed to eating it that they don't even want good food. They don't want vegetables. That's who we have been unjust to ourselves. And so we can set a better example. And just cooking. I talk about cooking all the time. I don't know how so many of us have missed that. Cooking food and invite somebody over for dinner. You have somebody at least for some company sometimes, because most of our men are lined up every evening somewhere to buy some kind of filthy, greasy food because they don't have nothing to eat. I talked to a young brother the other day. He told me he don't even know no women that cook. Start with his mother. Yeah, you ain't surprised at that. In fact, many of our women don't cook, and they go around saying they think it's something to be proud of. I don't cook. They brag on it. Many of our young girls can't boil water, can't boil an egg, can't do anything. And they think that's cute because we don't have mothers in the community anymore as much teaching how to cook. We buy everything out. We don't know what we eat. Snails, raccoons, squirrels. We don't know how to identify meat. And so we, as women, our role needs to be satisfied with less. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else who don't own nothing, but try to buy everything that the enemy and the Asians make. We need to pull back some from that. You know, we think that our men only like us for how we dress, or our eyelashes, or our fake breasts, or buttocks, and all of that. That's not what they're looking for in us. And so we keep them so sexually stimulated, overstimulated, that they don't have time to consider anything else about us, because we think that's the only way to get a man, and that's the only value that we have.
How you doing?
How are you? My name is Lauren. How you doing?
Hi, Lauren. How you doing?
I'm amazing.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. So I'm gonna level with you. I only date wealthy guys. Only. And some of my friends judge me. They say I'm too picky. I want to settle down one day, but at this point, you gotta have the ching ching. I lower my standards.
Well, what do you have to offer? How old are you?
I am 38 years old. When people ask me, what do I bring to the table? I say, I am the table. You're shaking your head.
I want a grown-up answer.
Okay.
What do you do for a career?
Oh, well, I am the Glam Ambassador of Newark. I wrote a book called 100 Things to Do in Newark Before You Die. And I'm marketing manager for Newark Arts.
For Newark what?
Newark Arts. It's the Arts Council in Newark.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so you're bringing something to the table?
Absolutely.
Now, how wealthy is wealthy?
I would say high six figures.
A high six figure.
You know, a year.
So, okay. And so, should you lower your standards? No, but and take this in the best way. I think you need to grow up and understand that sometimes good things, and nobody wants a broke man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's something in between. You know what I mean?
Something in between.
Something in between.
Okay, all right.
You are a boxing ring girl, right? You've heard what Frank had to say. How do you feel? You know, people say you're being objectified, it's demeaning.
I've never felt that in the 5 years that I've worked in this industry. If I'm honest, in the past week, I've probably received some of the worst comments from women applauding this ban than I have ever received in that industry.
What sort of comments?
So from feminists?
From women calling themselves feminists, they're not empowering us or supporting us, but they have come out with some derogatory comments. They're insulting our intelligence based on our occupation. They're calling us prostitutes online, which is, it's very upsetting and insulting.
I don't think that being a glamorous adornment is a bad thing. I'm a business development consultant in the day, and I do this for fun and as a hobby. And feminists are going on and on and on about how it's degrading to women. The women that are actually doing it don't feel degraded, and we're not being given the choice to decide now whether we want to do it or
and
not.
And when you see the likes of Kim Kardashian posting topless selfies, and all the same feminists attacking you say, well, this is wonderful, liberating feminist empowerment. Is there a hypocrisy there?
I think there is, yeah.
No one gives a I've seen so many girls on Tinder and dating apps have in their bio 6 feet and above, like I only date over 6 feet. But imagine if guys had in their bio C cup and up. Like, just imagine, any guy who put that would be so canceled. And then you all want to talk about internalized misogyny and, oh, society makes women feel like they have to look a certain way. If you want to talk about double standards, there's a double standard for you. In fact, I think the height thing is a little bit more offensive because you can change your bra size, but you can't really change your height.
I just watched a video where a girl said she's never seen a pretty Trump supporter, and if you're offended by that, then you're ugly. All right, so I know beauty is subjective, and someone might find me attractive, and other people might find me to be looking like a dude, and you know, that's okay. Again, if you're liberal, then me looking like a dude should be like a positive thing, because you guys are all in support of that. But let's take a look at what liberals find attractive, shall we? Ah, armpit hair. I can smell it from here. Sexy. So attractive. Facial hair. Yes, I like, the lipstick really brings out the chin hair. That's a good compliment. Ah, body positivity. Yes, where we reject anything that's health and fitness. It's hot.
We're all women here. Who among us considers herself a feminist? Raise your hand. Halfway up. Why are you a feminist? What does that mean?
To me, it means that I fight for the equality of women when it comes to equal pay, equal rights, and especially respect.
When I think of a feminist, I definitely don't picture myself. I don't feel like I need to go fight for rights that I already have. There's not a war on women right now.
Yeah, I think feminism is cancer. What right does a woman not have in America today? When you look at the gender wage gap is complete myth.
You think the wage gap is a myth?
Oh, it's absolute myth. When you look at statistically broken down, there is no wage gap. The problem is women typically go into fields that are lower earning than men.
Lauren, are you a feminist?
No. When I hear the word feminist, from what I see in the media, I kind of look at it as a victim kind of mentality. I am all about women's rights, women's equality, and more so equality of opportunity. I do believe there is a gap in wages. I've seen it.
Jessica, when we talk about politicians who have been accused of sexual misconduct, does that matter when you are making your vote?
I think it's a good indicator of their morals and of their values, and so it does matter to me because you can only know so many victims of sexual assault before you have to care. I think it points to a bigger ethical issue, bigger moral issue, because if you can look at someone and view them as less than you and devalue them, then you're going to treat everybody that way.
I think it's an indicator.
If they're true.
Right, it's an allegation. That's not a conviction. They're innocent until proven guilty.
There's a lot of women that say that they were assaulted that weren't actually assaulted, and it takes away from the women who were assaulted. We have men literally having to go to court with pulling out text messages from women who claim that they were raped when they really just regretted having sex with that man. That is just so repulsive that women are lying about being raped. Regret is not rape.
Did Jesus touch you? That's assault.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Where were you born? Where were you born? Where were you born, bitch? I was born in America, bitch. Where are your ancestors from? They're not from this country. You're going back to Mexico. Bitch, you better go back to where you're from.
You just walked into it. Excuse me?
Hey, stop it, bitch. You just touched me.
Wow,
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you deserved it, in my opinion. Yeah, you pushed her and she smacked you. That was self-defense on her part.
Want to reclaim feminism? I don't really see.
Like, let it burn.
Yeah,
right?
just
Where
let
we're
it
at
die.
right now, like, let it burn. I don't
Yeah.
really see what we're fighting for anymore. Like, I get it. Like, the movement had to be started because we actually did not have equality with men. We have equality with men. In most circumstances, we have more than equality with men. It's like plus. We have all of these privileges on top of it. And when I think of feminism today, I think of the Lena Dunham types. Like Lena Dunham out there, she's obviously miserable, right? And she's not shaving her armpits, and she's going out there and saying that this is freedom. It actually, what they identify. What they determine to be freedom to me looks like misery, right? We don't need men. We don't want men. Actually, you do need men. Like, actually, we cannot pretend physically like biology exists. Like, this is not a good platform to have abolished men. Like, we don't want any more men. And the movement has become so radicalized. And the only way for people to actually pull it back is to just let it burn. I'm not a feminist. I don't need to be a feminist. There's nothing that they're fighting for that I agree with anymore.
Yeah.
It seems overprivileged. It seems bratty. You have time to put on a pussy hat and go march and scream during the weekday. You probably have achieved equality.
Right.
It all started on Sunday when Candace tweeted this clip of herself on the Ben Shapiro show, accusing both the former vice president and Bernie Sanders of pandering to black people by conducting interviews with Cardi.
It is demeaning. It is pandering. It is ridiculous, okay? And she asked pointedly ridiculous questions. I want lower taxes, but I want universal health care for all. She had no idea what she was doing, and yet both Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden made the time to sit with her because they believe black people are stupid.
Rhonda, Lauren down here from the Herald Sun again. Just another quick one about Angela's question on equality just before. We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport? And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dina and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
Brainwashed by what, may I ask? Is it the media that's indoctrinating our entire society to have far left-wing views? Or it must be academia that's pushing liberal views on all of our youth? Or maybe it's all the Snapchat ads. When he took that knee, he stood for all of us. Yeah, super conservative. Or an ad pushing homosexuality on our youth. Or maybe it's all those independent fact checkers that are funded by people like George Soros and the Clintons. So yeah, reality check. Every single aspect of our lives pushes liberalism on our society. We aren't the brainwashed ones. We're the ones who think for ourselves. You should try it.
We have unrealistic expectations, and the unrealistic expectations has been our downfall. We have made up ideas about what a relationship and a husband or a man is supposed to be like. We don't mind having a man as long as he don't act like a man. We could be with him, but if we start coming up in that trying to give some instructions to say how he wants things and what we supposed to do, we go get everybody then. No, you trying to tell me what to do. Somebody need to tell us what to do. It's obvious we don't know what to do. Everywhere I go, people say that final thing. We just need to come together. We just need to get in unity. Well, most of us can't get in unity with the people we live with the people we've been with all our life. We can't get in unity with them. So that can't be the total goal. We're going to have forced unity. See, not getting along is a luxury. Being able to disagree, break up, make up, and all of that, that's a luxury. But there will come a time, based on things that we all need to survive, and where we're going to need a man, where we're going to get past a whole lot of what we got going now. It's just going to fade away. Like Trump said, it's going to poof. It'll disappear, It's not going to be there. But for right now, the man's role would be to protect and provide. Now, when we say provide, that don't mean buy you every kind of weave you want that costs $800 or $900. It don't mean buy you every kind of Gucci and Fendi and Louis Vuitton. That ain't what provide means. He's going to provide direction and guidance, love, affection, discipline for our children, and help with all of those kind of things. Provide ideas. See, one of our problems as black women is that we ain't got nothing to do. Other than work for white people, we don't have too much to do. I go to the church, and many of us treat the people at the church and the minister like we should be treating our man at home. So, we have it all mixed up. So those are some of the things that the man needs to do. He needs to not let us get away with things, because the moment we get away with sneaking a line, we really open it up and do that a lot more because we think we've got him tricked. And that's one of the reasons that so many black women were angry with me for putting out the Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman, because our men needed a heads up. And even with that, it's hard for them. But they just have certain information they don't have about us that keeps them confused and makes them reject us and go to someplace else. He's outside looking for peace of mind. Yeah, because we're not that familiar with peace. We're just familiar with getting dressed up and putting on eyelashes and, maybe even going to school. More of us are graduating from college. More of us are getting PhDs. We got good credit cards. We got a whole lot of things, cars, but it hasn't made us happy. We're still sitting around talking about why we don't have companionship, which is the ultimate goal. It don't have to be marriage. It can just be some good companionship.
And let me just point out that the comment that he made is based on what the young lady said she did. Let me just make that clear to y'all. She said, I hit him, and I believe that's what Stephen is pointing. I just want to say,
for a man hitting a woman unless his life is in jeopardy.
No, I'm sorry.
He knocked her out.
Listen, I'm sorry. If you hit somebody, you cannot be sure you are not going to get hit back. Because no. Oh yes, baby. Listen, if you're a little boy, I'm sorry. If you're a little boy and you grow up with a sister says, no, you can never hit her. And she's like this, and she's hitting you all the time. You say, mommy. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. If you hit her, you have to teach women. You have to teach women. Do not put your hands on anybody. Do not. Let me just finish my point. Because I know I'm going to catch a lot of hell, and I don't care. But you have to teach women. Do not live with this idea that men have the chivalry thing still with them. Right. Don't assume that that's still in place. Right. So don't be surprised if you hit a man and he hits you back. You don't hit. Listen, I'm sorry. You hit somebody, they hit you back.